What's going on? It's 7 o'clock with Fantasy Football Safe Space presented to you by the Fantasy Shot Callers with Streamlabs. I'm accompanied with my brother from another mother, Brother Fox. How you holding up?
Hey, I'm well, brother. I'm well. Ready to talk some fantasy football.
There it is. There it is. On my other side, we have the Warden of the South looking clear as day. Got that nice big E. How you holding up, brother?
Hey man, blessed and highly favored and baked. I'm baked, not high. It's torches. It's torchy out here. You know that humidity, all too well, brother Fox. So it's about 100 with the humidity. It's burning up. So I'm just happy to be here.
I feel you there, brother.
Hey, we appreciate you making it. I know things are a little bit challenging, but we here. We all here, baby. Brother Fox, before we get into it, how can the good folks take care of us?
As always, y'all can give us that HBO special. If you don't know by now, the HBO special is the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly, truly goes a long way.
If this is your first time, Safe Space is a place for you to come vent, cry, and laugh your fantasy sorrows away. But since it is not the regular season, we're just going to talk about current news. We just broke down divisions. We're going to do current news, and we're just going to keep you guys entertained. We can't just leave you. What's that Timberland song? It's been a long time.
Hey,
Shouldn't have
left you.
You know, without some dope fantasy content to step to. Kevin, hey, shout out HC Armando Coria, the head coach himself.
That's
we
the man.
Appreciate you. We appreciate you, man.
I still can't believe your Waddle take last week, Piggy. I can't believe
Waddle trash. Waddle.
Hey, look, they coming after you that you can't defend yourself.
Come on, son.
Right.
Since we're talking about receivers, we want to go to San Francisco. We want to go to Dallas. What we doing?
Let me hear about this. I want to talk Dallas, please. Can we just get that over? But I want to.
Yeah, we can do that. Let me go and pull that up.
No doubt.
There it is. So Cole Beasley says, "I don't need 180 targets to get 1,000." That's a bold take.
Yeah. I get it. I get where Cole Beasley is coming from. You know, he's never been the de facto wide receiver one in any offense he's ever been in. And, you know, Dak, CeeDee Lamb last year had a career year, coincidentally, right before he could open up for his contract negotiations. How convenient, you know, so that now they have to pay him. But, you know, it's true. It's, you know, if you give any decent receiver 180 targets, they're going to put up some solid fucking numbers, regardless if it's CeeDee Lamb, hell, regardless if it's, you know, I can't think of someone off the top of my head, but I would say the majority.
T. Higgins.
Hey, T. Higgins, exactly. It's just, you know, I get where it's coming from, but at the same time, keep his name out your mouth, brother. Like,
right.
You know,
yeah.
Like, who are you, Cole Beasley, to talk anything about CeeDee Lamb? He about to test that generational money that your family ain't never gonna see. And
right. Yes.
You know.
Hey, I'm
game recognized game, and Cole Beasley looking real unfamiliar right now.
Hey, yo, man. Cole Beasley need to put some respect on the man's name. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you know, it's two different types of players. And CeeDee Lamb is obviously better than Cole Beasley, no matter how many, you know, targets that a person gets or receptions that they get. CeeDee Lamb will come out with more. I'm not going to knock Beasley, you know what I'm saying? Because he was nice and he can flow. But he probably got a ghostwriter, you know what I'm saying? But he can flow, you know what I'm saying? So I guess he's trying to, since, you know, the Kendrick and the Drake beef, he's trying to spark something maybe so he can do a little album to get a little piece of money of what CD going to get, but that ain't going to work, fam. Get out the news.
To me, Cole Beasley, if you're that talented, go back to Buffalo. They ain't got a number one wide receiver right now. You know, show them what you can do. Get that maximum targets and see what you can do.
Right. So Dave II, we appreciate you rocking with us, man. What up?
Good, sir, Dave.
Some questions if you guys got some questions for us. We just talking recent news, what's been going on in the world of football. CeeDee Lamb also may hold out. I know, Brother Fox, you mentioned soft tissue. You know, you want to target players that are actively in camp. You know, he's CeeDee Lamb. He gonna be straight, but there's always the what if, and the longer he goes without being signed, the less shape he's in. Maybe that might cost you your week 1, week 2. Does he move? Does Amon-Ra or does a Chase or Jefferson? Do any of the other receivers, Tyreek Hill, any other names kind of jump him with the longer he waits?
It all depends on how much of camp he misses. I feel that that if he misses more than 2 weeks, absolutely. I feel he drops. He'll still be a first round draft pick, just name alone.
Right.
But I could see him dropping to the number 4, number 5 receiver if he stays out more than 2 weeks of camp.
Okay. What you think, Biggie?
Hey, I'm on the same thing. I mean, you normally don't see a wide receiver one, duplicate that season again, wide receiver one again. Just like with running back, it's the same thing. So I'm kind of fading out, not fading season, but I'm definitely knowing he's not going to be the wide receiver one. He's going to get soft tissue injuries like Fox, said a few weeks ago. So he owned it. Fox really owned it on that one.
Yeah, you can't predict injury, but we just have seen patterns where the longer you hold out, the less productive you are, especially earlier in the season. I do have him as my wide receiver 2 behind Tyreek Hill. I would say what was early June is still the 9th. If it's late June and he's still not in camp and he's still, in negotiations, I'd definitely put Amon-Ra ahead of him and maybe even Jamar Chase, depending on where Chase is at with his contract. And I feel like these two teams have botched this and let so many players get breaded. Waddle got breaded. St. Brown got breaded, and they're just shooting themselves. Did Jefferson got breaded?
Yes. Jefferson got breaded.
Jefferson got breaded.
Yeah.
It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. And if of all the people, he was the most qualified.
Right.
Like, barring last year's injury, he was the best receiver last 2-3 years, without question.
Right.
So they, Cowboys good to botch a contract dispute. They messed around and had to overpay for Dak, and now they're gonna probably have to overpay for CD.
Right. I mean, it's always with them with Dallas. It seems like they never pay.
We got a good question.
It's a tough one though. It's just like they're in a situation where they have to pay the quarterback, receiver, and top tier linebacker / defensive end. Like they honestly can't afford to pay all 3 players at that max level without pretty much pulling the Buffalo Bills and cutting the whole lot just to fit them 3 in. So they really are all playing for their playing futures with the Cowboys. I would say except the defensive player. I feel like he's a no-brainer. You have to sign him. But I feel like Dak and CD, they're both fighting for their contract lives.
Right.
The HC says, who's number 1 receiver for the Packers? Oh,
that's a
great question.
Are we talking about? Well, I know we're going to talk about without the blue tent, but without the blue tent, I think Watson is. I still do. I think the blue tent is what makes him questionable. I think without the blue tent, he's going to be the number 1 there for me.
So we're saying if all the big 3, the mid 3 play 16 games, Watson's your guy?
Yeah, I believe that.
Well, who you got?
So Watson, I would say on paper he looks the best, but everyone was saying that Dontavion Wicks has shown like some crazy, like he kind of exploded towards the end of last year, and they've been showing out in OTAs as well, and I think that's the kicker. It's like you want to have Love on your squad, the quarterback, but it's like no one really knows what wide receiver is going to break out. It could be Romeo Doubs, it could be Christian Watson, but from what I'm hearing, I heard Wicks has been tearing it up, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I don't give Love that much love. You know what I'm saying? Me, Seven. I tell you the truth. At the first 7 weeks, he played like trash. Then they put on the bye week, and then he threw 25 touchdowns and 1 pick, and he played like trash in the NFC Championship. He did.
A lot of people are big on Reed.
Now I agree with Piggy. Yeah, Reed is a talented kid. Jaden Reed, talented kid. He can do it all. They manufactured a lot of touches for him, especially towards the end of last season. But I don't know. I still feel like he's kind of a gadget guy. Like, he never really sees the number one cornerback out there. And sure,
Right.
he's routing up number 3 cornerbacks and this and that. But it's like, what happens when he's the go-to guy when it's 3rd and 9 and you need that catch? Is he really going to catch it if he's on? If L'Jarius Sneed is across from him, is he really going to catch that football?
I like how you plugged the cornerback that used to play for the Chiefs. You good for that? Hey, I respect
It's
it.
love. He ain't in the city no more, but still love. Still love. 2-time Super Bowl champion. You know what I'm saying?
This guy. Let's see. Let's take it to your team, Big E.
Let's do it.
Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let's take it to the Raiders.
Pop it up. I already know who's gonna win. I've been saying it, and you know it.
You've been saying it. I had to make it a topic because you called it. You called it. I don't know why this. Oh, there it is. Here we go. You called it. You said it months ago. It's Aiden O'Connell's show.
Right.
Go ahead. The platform is yours, brother. It's yours.
Hey, no doubt. Well, Aiden just has the arm, and he had it, in college, and he also showed it last year. Even though he had some terrible games, which if you look, at Bryce Young, I mean, you can be a number 1 draft pick and still have some bad games. Aiden played very good, and Deontay Adams, he loves them. Adams loves the way he plays. I like Gardner Minshew, and most of the time, Fox, I think that you're right. You say follow the money. Sometimes, just like with Drew Bledsoe and Brady, not to say that he's in Brady caliber, but sometimes the money don't mean anything. Sometimes the player just gets outplayed. So I just thought I know how to play. Oh, your turn.
Hey, bro, we know you lying. The real situation is we no one gives a damn who wins between Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. They gonna be drafting in the top 10 next year anyway. All right. The real question is, why didn't the goddamn Raiders trade up to get them a formidable quarterback to challenge one of these ain't shit guys that they got on the roster? All right. They gonna be number 1 in the sweepstakes next year for Dak Prescott. That's the real concern. That's what you should be. How much money are the Raiders gonna pay Dak Prescott next season? Big E.
Whatever he want. You in Kansas City. So of course you're gonna throw some hate out there. You know what I'm saying? And it don't bother me anything. What else would I expect? But I'm telling you, you might be surprised. Aiden come out and show out the way I think he's gonna show out. We might not be drafting no quarterback.
Ooh.
Come on.
I mean,
I called Aiden.
Devontae Adams co-signing him goes a lot further than people realize. Even in that hostile environment, and the Chargers throwing shots at him, that's a whole nother conversation. But Adams backing him up, him already being established there, helps. It helps. And I just want to give you your flowers. You said it was his show. Yeah. And right now it looked like it's his show.
And Fox was wrong. Fox said follow the money, and I told him that it wasn't going to be Gardner. So I wanted to throw that out there too. And if you look back, the Patriots was going to draft. So when they had Drew Bledsoe, they was looking for the next Bledsoe to come in. Brady was an afterthought, and Brady came in and shined. Not to give that man no Brady hype, but they wasn't looking for a quarterback after that.
Seven just said that Aiden O'Connell got the co-sign for Devontae Adams. You know who also got a co-sign for Devontae Adams, who compared him to a Hall of Famer?
Who?
Derek Carr. He said Derek Carr has just as much talent as Aaron Rodgers.
They friends.
17 games later, this man is off the team. They essentially was kicked off the team the last 2 weeks of the year and stunk it up in New Orleans last year. That's the same guy who got the
was available.
I've been saying
he threw more attempts. He threw more touchdowns than Aaron Rodgers last year. I know that.
Look, I will never validate Carr. I was saying Carr was dirt when he was a Raider. So I don't know what you expect me to say with that.
Hey, it was more rebuttal. It was more rebuttal. That's all it was.
No doubt.
Okay, so let's get into this Ayuk situation because I feel like this guy, he keeps shooting himself in the foot. And you mentioned it earlier, Brother Fox. The longer this man does not get traded, the lower his value goes.
Exactly. You know, regardless if he has a decent season this year or not, the 49ers are a loaded football team. They have a window of about 2 more years that they can actually put together a good squad until they got to pay Brock Purdy, right? They don't plan on signing Brandon. They don't to sign Brandon Ayuk to a long-term contract. So they have to. They're literally auditioning him for his next team right now. But I feel like they don't want to piss off the fan base. They don't want to potentially take a slight step backwards by getting rid of Brandon Ayuk. So they're keeping him on the roster and hoping that Parcell, the kid they drafted out of Florida this year, is able to somehow learn from him and emulate that next season. It's like if they don't sign him to a long-term contract, they're going to have to franchise tag him in the offseason in order to trade him. And then you see what happens once you franchise tag a player. It's open market. Like you're telling me a team is going to have to pay him, $25 to $35 million, sign him to a long-term contract, and give the Niners compensation. Whereas if they trade him right now, they're going to get a much higher draft pick than going the route of franchise tagging him and trading him. It's like, and again, he keeps fluctuating. Oh, if I wasn't a Niner, I'd be a Commander. If I wasn't a Commander, I'd be a Steeler. Like every word he says, his trade value drops because teams know that the Niners are open for business in the Brandon Ayuk market. And so I'm like, feel like you got to cut your losses when you're ahead. Brandon Ayuk knows the situation. It's either him or Debo. And it doesn't seem like Debo seems more of a fan favorite than Ayuk. So might as well cut your losses while you can and try to rebuild.
Yeah, I believe.
What's the trade value on Ayuk?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
You go ahead, Brother Fox.
I would say nothing more than a 3rd-round draft pick. And the only reason why I say that is because again, Brandon Ayuk is in the process of being traded because he wants a top-tier contract. The 49ers have offered him over $26 million a year. They did it twice, and he shut down both contracts. He wants Tyreek Hill plus money. Is like you're telling me Brandon Ayuk is going to get 31 to 35 million a year, and like some team is going to have to bread him out with all that money, and they're going to have to give the 49ers a high tier draft pick to do it? Nah, it don't work like that for a quarterback. Sure, you'll get high compensation, but for a receiver, where a new excellent receiver comes out every year, nah, hard pass.
You agree, Biggie?
Yeah, well, he saw how much money they paid MVS in Kansas City, so he want to get a little bit more bread than what he looking at right there. But I don't think that he's the best. I think Brandon Ayuk thinks he's more than what he is, and I think that some of those 3 touchdown games, like the Kittle games and different things like that. Each of them, Debo will have his game. Each of them had their own game. But to go and start talking about other teams and other teams, if I wasn't playing for the 49ers, I played this team, I played with that team. That's like a guy having a girl and she's like, well, if I wasn't with him, I'd be with him. And if not, I'd be with him. That's loyalty there. Who would want him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of disqualifies me. Sometimes silence is the best, the best thing you can do. Just be quiet, come to practice, get ready, play, and then you'll get the money. You're going to get the bag either way. But, I mean, running your mouth and saying stupid stuff like that, really, really dumb to me.
Yeah, I feel you. Last but not least, Dak showed up on the net in a walking boot. I don't know if you guys saw this or not.
Yeah.
But people, he's breaking silence and saying he should be fine and he should be 100% for the regular season. Any concern, especially with CeeDee Lamb? Now that's 2 things that they got going on with the contract and the Cole Beasley dispute. Now you got Dak in the boot. I think Little Jones is talking about Jalen Hurts and had no business talking about Jalen Hurts. You need to focus on your damn team.
Right.
So I would say, in my personal opinion, red flag. And it's not just because he's the Dallas quarterback, but it's because it's the same ankle that he snapped a few years ago.
Oh,
Now, if it was the opposite ankle, okay, he's in a walking boot, precautionary, he's just trying not to injure it even further. But the fact that it's the same one, we don't know how those ligaments are. We don't know if he's had lingering injuries. Usually in the NFL, you're hurt from week 1 on. And now it's similar to like Joe Burrow's situation last year. Before the season even starts, he's already dealing with a nagging injury. And most NFL training camps start next week. So it's like, is he really truly going to be 100% entering training camp? It's like, obviously most quarterbacks, you don't get hit during training camp, but he's still going to be expected to roll out and follow through with the entirety of the play. Is he going to be able to do that in a walking boot?
Well, I don't know. I think it was a little bit, a little theater behind that. I mean, it's no, coincidence. They're in trade, not trade, but contracts where Dak wants some more money and different things like that. Plus with CD Lamb, but I think that I would have picked the other ankle if it was all theater, Brother Fox. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I think some of it is real, and probably some of it is trying to get out of some of the workouts and different things like that. Plus, I mean, I think he wants to show that he's not happy, but he's not going to go all the way. That was like the shortest walking boot I've ever seen, shortest time in walking boot I've ever seen. Less than a week, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 5 days, and then he's out of it. But like you said, I want to see him work out. And definitely, we got to keep him fresh for the Raiders next year.
He had his injury a couple years back. It was a compound fracture. So that means it was multiple fractures that, I think he had a dislocation and multiple fractures. So like that means they had to relocate it plus put screws in there to repair each of those bones. So that, like, to me, if he's having pain, that means the structural integrity of his ankle might not be there. Like, sure, he played all the games last year and had a hell of a season, but if this was something lingering, he would have took care of it right at the end of the season. But the fact that it's serious when it's a few weeks before training camp. The training camp's next week, and he's in a walking boot. Like, he would have been in a walking boot in OTAs if it was something minor. That means this just popped up. This is something that, and I don't know. To me, that's scary.
Right.
Maybe there is a reason why he hasn't been signed to a long-term contract.
Right. Well, they were playing San Francisco right when he broke it. And I was watching the game. I think it was San Francisco. I might be wrong. But I remember that was one of the worst injuries, just hanging and the camera got it. Then they blurred it out later. So it wasn't pretty. It definitely wasn't pretty. Kind of like that Paul George injury, USA.
Oh, I saw that live.
Yeah. You was live? You was there?
Not there, but live. Like, I was watching the game in the living room.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just, I if I'm the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys are playing it right. Like, this man is going to be making $55 million plus, potentially, and he's coming off of a compound fracture that has shown glimpses that it may not be perfect. Like, why would you risk the franchise? And it's not like Jerry Jones is getting younger. Jerry Jones in his 80s. He's trying to win a championship. And if he got to pay back and be stuck, he's going to be dead without a ship.
Leave that man's age alone, man. Jerry.
Hey, nah, he was at that meeting. Fuck him. I don't care how old he was. Fuck him.
He was at that meeting, right? Hey, look, Jerry. Hey, they need to give Jerry one of them cognitive tests. Jerry, Jerry.
Yeah, he got Biden IQ right now. Anyway, Brother Fox, how can the good folks take care of us?
Hey, as always, y'all can give us the HBO special. If you don't know what the HBO special is, it's the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly goes a long way.
There it is, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. As Brother Fox mentioned, camp starts next week. So hopefully we got a lot more news for you. No rosters. We can go break it down. We can break down players, but we appreciate you rocking with us. We're trying to put out some content weekly just to keep you guys fed until week 1. I think we got 9 weeks to go.
No
Yes,
doubt.
sir. Yes, sir. Hey, but by the way, before we get up, did y'all see them photos of Zamir White? Zamir
No.
White got yoked, bruh.
What?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. That's I know you need to be slippery as a running back, but he done probably put on 15. 15 is yoked, bro. Like he mad at something. He mad at them weights.
I'm telling you, I told y'all they say he showed up like a Greek god. One time I was telling you, that dude done got huge.
If he was able to keep his speed, hey, that could be dangerous, bro.
We're gonna see what he do. I ain't been talking about it much because I want to draft him. But all right, got it.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate the love. Appreciate everybody showing us love.
Peace. Big E didn't know we were still live.
I knew.